Have you ever heard or wondered about Drupal 7 and Drupal 8 end of life? Why does Drupal 8 retire earlier than Drupal 7? Well, we hear such questions pretty often simply because it's not really obvious. Hi, Alex from 5Jars is here, and let's figure out the overall Drupal retirements timeline as well as learn when you need to upgrade your Drupal website. Well, Drupal 7 was released on January 5th, 2011. Just imagine, Drupal now is 10 years old and it's time for its retirement. So now let's take a look a little bit closer at the Drupal 7 end of life timeline. So now let's go to the official Drupal website in order to learn a little bit more about Drupal 7's end of life. And by the way, all links and all pages that you see on my screen will be available in the description for this video. So by reading that note, we can learn that Drupal 7's end of life was extended, and the end of life of Drupal 7 is November 28th of 2022. So November 28th of 2022 is the official Drupal 7's end of life timeline. And let's dip a little bit deeper in order to understand the background of that date. So by going to PHP requirements for Drupal 7, we can see that the Drupal 7 supports PHP 7.0, 7.1, 7.2, 7.3, 7.4, and 8.0, and it doesn't support 8.1. So now I'm going to open an official website for PHP, and PHP is a programming language for that's being used for Drupal. And on this website we can see two timelines. So the first timeline that indicates when the initial release was made, active support until, and security support until. So now we are interested in security support until. So as I mentioned earlier, Drupal 7 supports PHP 7.2. As we can see from here, PHP 7.2 already retired. So Drupal 7 also supports PHP 7.3, and PHP 7.3 will be retired on December 6th of 2021. Also, Drupal 7 supports PHP 7.4 and PHP 8.0, but as you can see here, the retirement date of PHP 7.4 exactly the same as retirement date for Drupal 7. So that's why November 28th of 2022 is a retirement date for Drupal 7, simply because Drupal 7 depends on PHP 7.4, and it will retire the same day as the security support for PHP 7.4 will be finished. Now, keeping in mind Drupal 7's end of life, let's take a look a little bit closer at Drupal 8. Drupal 8 was released on November 19th of 2015, and I remember that wonderful time. It was a huge leap for Drupal and overall Drupal community, as Symfony, one of the largest PHP frameworks, was introduced to the foundation for Drupal. And Drupal agencies around the world had parties because Drupal 8 was released, and this was a huge release for the community. However, it's time for Drupal 8 to retire as well. And let's figure out why. In order to figure out Drupal 8's end of life date, we need to go to the official Drupal.org website and read through that note. And that note says that November 2nd of 2021 is the official retirement date for Drupal 8. As you might notice, Drupal 8 retires 1 year earlier than Drupal 7, and the reason for that because Drupal 8 depends on Symfony 3, which is the framework, PHP framework, one of the largest PHP frameworks in the world. And basically, Symfony 3 will retire in November of 2021. So now we are going to go to the symfony.com. This is an official Symfony framework website. And here we can see that the latest Symfony version is 3.4 within the 3.x version. So, and looking at its timeline, it has been released in November 2017, end of bug fixes November 2020, and end of security fixes November 2021. So basically, that's why Drupal 8 is going to retire on November 2nd of 2021. That's pretty simple and straightforward. But there is Drupal 9. So now let's discuss a little bit Drupal 9. All right. Well, now we know Drupal 7's and Drupal 8's end of life dates, and let's take a look at Drupal 9. Drupal 9 has been released on June 3rd of 2020, and its end of life date already announced. So let's take a look why and when that is going to happen. Drupal 9 was released in 2020, and according to the official documentation from Drupal.org, the end of life date for Drupal 9 is when Symfony 4 reaches its end of life. And simply the reason for that, because Drupal 9 depends on Symfony 4. In the same way as Drupal 8 depends on Symfony 3, Drupal 9 depends on Symfony 4. So, and by going to symfony.com, which is an official website for Symfony PHP framework, we can learn that the end of life for Symfony 4.4 is November 2023. So, clicking on that link, we can learn that Symfony 4.4 was released in November 2019. End of bug fixes, November 2022. End of security fixes, November 2023. So that's the reason why Drupal 9 is going to retire in November of 2023. As simple as with Drupal 8. But the Drupal 7's release already scheduled, so let's take a look a bit closer at the next version of Drupal. All right, now you know a little bit more about Drupal 7, Drupal 8, and Drupal 9, so it's time to take a look a little bit closer at Drupal 10. As you know, Drupal 10 will be a next major version, and it's simply a refined version of Drupal 9. The release is planned for 2022, and the final date is still unknown, but let's learn a little bit more about Drupal 10 as well. In order to learn about Drupal 10, we are going to go to Drupal.org and open the official documentation about Drupal 10. And as you can learn there, the Drupal 10 is planned for June of 2022. This is not a final date because it will depend on the development team and how quickly we'll go through all development stages. Basically, Drupal 10 will consist of new theme, improved layout builder, CK editor, and many other modern stuff like JavaScript and Symfony 5 or 6 under the hood. So you can learn all those things by link in the description. But there are three scenarios when exactly what exactly might happen with Drupal 10 and how it will affect timeline. So the scenario number one, Drupal 10 beta requirements completed by March 18th. Scenario number two, Drupal 10 beta requirements completed by May 13th. And scenario number three, Drupal 10 beta requirements completed by September 9th. So you can learn the detailed timelines and scenarios at Drupal.org. Links will be in the description. So given that, We have Drupal 7 end of life, 8, 9, and 10 will be released in June of 2022. And as you can see, we have pretty short timeline in between the releases because now we have completely different development approach in Drupal than we've had in the past for Drupal 5, 6, and 7. Alright, and now I just wanted to summarize the overall timeline. Drupal 7 will retire on November 28th of 2022. Drupal 8 will be retired on November 2nd of 2021. Drupal 9 will be retired in November 2023. And Drupal 10 will be released in between June and December of 2023. That's it. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope you feel much better now and fully understand Drupal's timeline. If you will need any help with updates or upgrades, feel free to reach out at info@5jars.com or just send a request in a contact form at 5jars.com. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.